y'all. Y'all excited for me?
I'm not keeping that ass that I can make it.
Hey, Katie. Thanks for joining in. Hey, Bren. Tanya. Thanks for joining in. I don't take it for granted that you spend your Sunday evening in my home with me. I am alone today. You know, sometimes you got to refocus, and being at home alone is not a bad thing. You can regenerate some new energy. But I'm always in training mode and wanting to teach you guys how to be successful in your own homes. Keep in mind, a lot of what I talk about is entertainment, but a lot of times what we have to focus on is loving our own homes for ourselves. So many people are not comfortable in their own home, hence why they spend a lot of time away from their home. So hopefully I can be a good resource for you to teach you the importance and the value of just falling in love with your home. If you live in Ohio, you really need to love your home because you're going to spend so much time inside your home. So why not find ways to make it a little easier, a lot more comfortable, as well as making great food for your friends and family, or even just yourself. So today we're going to talk about entertaining, of course, with people who come over spontaneously. Let's say you have a knock at the door. It was somebody from an old friend that hadn't stopped by for a while, but you want to, of course, provide them with some good entertainment. This is an easy way that I'm going to teach you today how to build a snack board. It can be a combination of basically anything in your kitchen or in your refrigerator in order to come up with this, but it also is an array of different things that you're going to make. Also, we will make a dip for your vegetables. But last but not least, one of the things that I wanted to get better at last year was preserving or knowing how to take care of my vegetables. I have always been one to just go and cook and make things and throw the vegetables inside the refrigerator or inside of a drawer, thinking that would keep it nice and tight and airtight. But what I learned through the years of cooking is I was wasting a lot of my vegetables just by not knowing the value of how to keep them. Now, every type of vegetable is a little bit different, so I want to make sure that we go over some of the basics so you're comfortable and you can do the same process at home. Who wants to keep buying things over and over again? It's just not resourceful and it's not effective financially. So I hope to help you with that today and provide you with some good sources so you know what to do. Now keep in mind, I just started doing this last year. Yeah, I'm waiting for it. I know. No, I'm not that chick that always knew these type of things. Now does anybody remember our grandma's vegetables being just everywhere throughout the kitchen? You had some stuff in windows, you had stuff in drawers that you didn't understand what it was. Well, really, they knew the process of knowing how to take care of their vegetables. So I'm going to teach you that today. So let's get started. Thanks again for joining in. Hey, Renita. Oh, Renata. It's Renata. Thanks, Renata. Hey, son. Mitch. Hey, Nix. My best friend, Nikki, is joining in with us today. Thank you, baby. I always appreciate that. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start with making the dip for the vegetables. It's really simple and easy. Doesn't require a lot of ingredients, but it's something that you can make when, again, you ran out of the veggie dip that you buy at the store, but you have company here and you need to chop up some vegetables. I'm going to teach you a quick way to do it, okay? So let's start with the ingredients. All you need is sour cream, mayonnaise, chopped red onion. I also suggest topping it with some green onion. And then you use a little dill, seasoned salt, as well as parsley flakes. So it's really easy and simple to do, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started so you know how simple and easy it is to make. So we're gonna use about a cup of sour cream. This right here is my sour cream. And while I'm doing this, I want to make sure I give a shout out to Dr. Candace Simpson. Yesterday I was given the honor of interviewing her as well as hosting her launch party. For anyone that doesn't know, Dr. Candace Simpson launched her first book, and it's called Mom Really. Mom Really. It's a really good book and a good take on having parents as well as children learn the dynamics of communication. We have a big generational gap going on, and communication is the key in order to narrow it. So I'm so proud of her. If you don't know, now you know. Mom Really is the name of the book. Okay, so here we go. Going to use a cup. That's probably not very sanitary to do that. So I already seem like I already had about a cup there of sour cream. So obviously this is about a cup, so I'm going to just go ahead and put that in. A cup of mayonnaise, real mayonnaise. What y'all doing for the winter months? What are y'all doing at home for projects? What are y'all doing at home to make your home feel more cozier? Give me a little bit of feedback today. Are you cooking? Are you baking? Are you doing a project? Tune in and let me know. Next, we're going to just put a couple of sprinkles of seasoned salt. And now, of course, the ingredients is about 1 teaspoon of seasoned salt. So it gives you a little bit of, I'm just going to cover the top of it just so that you can see that there. Shout out to DJ Marlon McFly. He's not with us today, but we always want to show love to somebody who shows love for us. Every week he's with us, showing us a lot of music and showing his wisdom of music. Okay, next we're going to put a little bit of dried onion. Since we're using the red onion, I'm just going to put a couple of flakes, not too much, just for the part that goes inside of the dip. We're going to flake it a little bit with some parsley flakes. And you see that there? You see that there? You notice that? Okay. And then we're going to use a little dill. Hey, Alethea. I miss you, boo-boo. Alethea just left us, y'all. Right. She just left us in the cold. She out there in Arizona kicking it. Hey, boo, I miss ya. Okay, so after you do the dill, we're going to add in those onions that I talked about earlier. You guys can ask any questions if you want to, and then we just stir it. Now this is a veggie dip, homemade veggie dip that we're going to make for your vegetables, your cut vegetables for company that comes over spontaneously. So I'm just trying to teach you, again, how you can be hospitable. But let's just say you don't have all the ingredients that you normally would have in order to cook for your family, for your friends and family. This is a quick way to put something together. You can really create the board with mostly anything that you have in your refrigerator. And I'm going to show you that. So this is our dip. Do you notice that there? And what we're going to do is we're going to put it in the refrigerator for just a little while. And then at the end, we'll bring it back out once I've cut up the vegetables and showed you how to make the board. You guys like to stay at home during the winter? What is it that you like to do during the winter months? Tune in a little bit. The music's a little loud, babe. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the refrigerator as I discussed. I'm going to cover it up so that it doesn't dry out. And y'all know I got this hood saran wrap over here. Y'all know how difficult saran wrap is? Do y'all have a problem with saran wrap? It's the stupidest thing to have a problem with. But it's okay. Now here they got some real good stuff now that you can just squeeze off, or zip off, I should say. So I'm putting that in the refrigerator. There you go. Next, we are going to talk a little bit about making your board. Now, I've got my chopping board here. I'm just going to use this little board so that y'all can understand the process and so that we can be effective with time. The best thing to do is make sure that you have all of your vegetables pre-cooked or pre-cut, because at that point you can begin deciding how it is that you're going to present them on your board. Now, I'm going to use a veggie board. I'm going to use a cucumber. I'm going to use a green pepper. This was actually used to go on top of my dip that I'll put on top to garnish when I'm all finished. But I'll also tell you how you can keep these nice and fresh. We also will talk a little bit about, we'll have tomatoes on my board. I'll have colored peppers on my board. And we'll also have some nachos and spinach dip and some meat and cheese roll-ups. So all of this can be included on your board in a presentation that looks really nice. But again, you can pull this stuff out of your refrigerator because this is stuff that we normally would just have accessible. Okay, so I'm gonna get ready to cut. Hey Pam, thanks for always tuning in. Now I'm cutting this long ways only because I'm gonna cut the colored peppers in a short way so that it gives different dynamics on the board. So I know this is according to the correct way to cut a pepper. This is incorrect, and I know that. But I need the length, so that's the only reason why I'm doing it this way. So sometimes you just got to be a little creative with your cooking for presentation purposes. Now I know also you should cut your pepper around in corners. I did take my sticker off. Take that sticker off so we don't eat it. It should come off when I rinsed it, but it didn't. Okay. So this is good. We're just going to use a little bit of that for a little while. Are y'all telling me what it is that you enjoy to do at home during the winter months?
Pretty much everybody is Netflixing and chilling.
Netflixing and chilling. Okay. I can respect that. You know, as we get older, we got to figure this out. So what I suggest is to put your veggies to the side until you know exactly how you want them arranged on your board. Now you can go super organized on your board, or you can just pile them, or you can create tiers, which means some are going to be at a higher length than others. We're just going to play with it because I really don't know which one we're going to do today. It's probably a combination of all of them. Because in the end, you just want a good presentation, but at the same time, you want to provide a way for people to grab the food easily. If you noticed, I used the cucumber. I cut every other. Now, of course, I'm not a chef, so I'm sure our chefs out there can do this a lot better than me. But I do it for entertainment purposes, and it works just fine. My company leaves just as satisfied as a chef's company. So I feel good that I am a chef too. Okay, so we're cutting this up. I'm going to just do it like a half, just for time purposes. Now, do you guys know how to keep a cucumber fresh? Can somebody tell me, and then I'll tell you if you're right? Don't nobody know? Hey, Deneen. That's my girl right there. She's been killing that nail game. Y'all know nothing about Color Street? Y'all know now. Thank you, Deneen. I appreciate you, boo. Okay, we're just going to start getting ready to arrange these. If you can see there, I'm just starting with something. And then what you'll see is that once you start arranging it, you'll start filling in the other vegetables just as easy. This is a quick way for you to pull out stuff from your refrigerator and feed your company. So it doesn't always have to be so stressful. Running to the grocery store and doing all that. You don't have to do that. Now keep in mind, one thing that I keep in mind is color. So if you notice cucumbers are green, These peppers are gonna be green. So I highly suggest putting them something else in between there. And then that way, you know for a fact, it'll look good. Now, what do you suggest I should put in between there? Just based on your own knowledge of vegetables and the vegetables that we're working on. What do you suggest? Because this is really like putting a puzzle together that's not built. That's all we're doing. We're gonna make everything go this way to give you a diagonal approach. Next thing we're gonna try is some tomatoes. Now, of course, for time purposes, I suggest that you just rinse them off and just go ahead and put them on the board.
Brenda said yellow peppers.
Yellow peppers, very good. I'm gonna put a little orange, I'm in a little tomato to make the line in between. And I'll put yellow peppers to make the height.
Pamela Stone said red or yellow peppers.
I'm gonna do some red and yellow peppers. Very good, you guys. So you're getting the concept that you can pull out anything from your refrigerator in order to make this. And I would suggest saving some tomatoes at the end because tomatoes make for a great border for the areas that you may have to fill in. I love doing this because, again, it's quick, it's simple, and everybody walks away satisfied. Okay, now what I'm going to also suggest is to do some meat and cheese roll-ups. I just picked up some turkey, and I picked up some Colby Jack cheese. So I'm going to show you what you can do with this. Again, we're just trying to find a way to accommodate your guests. Make sure they're fed so that you look like a hostess rock star. But don't make the process so stressful. So here we go. We're going to put that inside. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to alternate it. And we'll have some of the cheese on the outside.
Rashonda said her daughter, age 6, is loving this.
Yay! Oh yeah, her daughter could do this.
Sanaya?
Yeah. Her daughter can do this. This will be a great idea for your friends when they come over, Sanaya. And you just stick a little fork in there. And voila. And then what we're going to do with that, now you can cut that in half if you like. And what we're going to do with that is line that up in like a fan. So I'm building it as I go along. I don't know what I'm doing till I know. And it's okay, there's no rules. Just make it pretty. And on this one, I'm gonna use the cheese on the outside. Now you can't be as tight with cheese because it starts to crumble. But just for presentation purposes, for the color, I should say, we need a little more color over there. And we'll put that on the other side. No, that's not good. So that's another thing you'll notice. Let's not do the cheese on the outside because that makes it doesn't make it look pretty. And I don't like that. It's got to be pretty. In the end, it's got to be pretty. Although people are going to eat it and we're happy that they're going to eat it, we don't want it to not look pretty. So just use your ham slices and put that cheese on the inside. Unless you got better cheese. Maybe I got some weird cheese. I'm going to build that up. Remember, we got the dip that we're going to use over here. So what I did was, a lot of times when you're creating your entertainment table, we use tiers, which means something is higher than something else. And that's what creates the depth in the space. That's what makes tablescapes look beautiful. So I highly suggest you use something like this, a little taller than something else when you put the board. What we're going to put in here is a little spinach dip as well as some nachos. And then on the lower dip, you'll also have that. Again, this is stuff we have in our cupboard already. And your company will be like, I mean, do you do this all the time? And you're like, well, I mean, I try, you know. You just look, it is really nice to make somebody feel good in your own home. I had a company a couple weeks ago, And I pulled out some spritz water, and they was like, wow, that's nice water. And you're like, I mean, I normally don't drink this type of water, but I did happen to have some on hand. And they just felt special just to have some spritz water. So if you see we're building that there, we can start pushing that out a little bit. We want to fan it. And then we'll fill in with tomatoes and other peppers and stuff like that. We got some crackers here that I would highly suggest you put infusing in there. And then let's do some of these peppers. And these peppers will be a great filler around because we're going to use those and pound them, which is so perfect. Hey, Donna Jackson, thanks for tuning in. Delisa, thanks, sis. Hey, Fennell, thanks for joining in. Now, I always cut the bottom and the top of the pepper off. Again, these are just my little strategies that works for me. If in the interim it doesn't work for you, and I know many of you may be chefs, I'm sure you're sitting there like, she's doing that wrong. It's all right. You can also inbox me. I'll take an inbox so that I know for the future. I'm not saying that I'm the professional. I'm just the expert that tries to provide some
beautiful. Makes her want to drop by right now.
Come on, girl. Come on over. I'm just cutting these more in the smaller. I'm not going long like I did with the green. Because what I want to do with these, I'll fill this in the areas that needs a little attention. And why does it need a little attention? Because it's not filled in. We need the board to be completely filled in. You don't want to see any of the wood. So if you see there, I'm just filling it in, cutting those edges off. You can also do more different types of vegetable, or I should say meat bites. You can do bologna and cheese.
Yeah, I said she loves the color.
Yay! I'm so glad you do. And Gail, honestly, this is something that you can do. These boards cost $10 at Walmart. Or if you don't want to pay $10 for one, make one. That's how easy it's going to be. Let's put this over here. We're going to fill that all in so that we are making the perfect little bite. And we'll fill that back in with some more peppers. How you doing?
Hello.
My brother just walked in, you guys. You know, I tell you guys all the time that yes, we do talk about bringing social home, but we are practicing bringing social home. Every Sunday after the show, my family comes over and we do unique things together. So again, we're not just talking about it, we're being about it. And y'all know I'm big on that. I don't talk a lot about shit, just to let you know, I don't talk. We're going to talk about it, we're going to be about it. Just so that y'all know how your girl rolls. Okay, so here we go. Cutting up another red. Again, we're just filling it in. I'm going to tell y'all while I'm cutting this some of the vegetables that you can use in order to make this presentation, as well as how to keep them. Red, green peppers, yellow peppers. The best way to keep them is to just wash them off when you get them home and put them in a glass bowl and put them in the refrigerator. That's the case for avocados as well. If you want to preserve your cucumbers, let's say for today, I'm not using all of this. I'll show you a quick trick. And again, this works because I've been doing it for myself for the past year, and it really does work. You wet the hand towel. You wet that hand towel, and you wrap it around here. And you're going to do this also with your lettuce. We have lettuce here. So I did this as an example so you can see this is the same process that you would do to preserve your lettuce. And it works. It keeps it nice and fresh. And normally by the time it dries out, you've already eaten all of the vegetable. So there you go, and then we put it in a plastic bag. Now I keep my plastic bags from the grocery store because why buy them? Why rebuy them? So I'm putting this in here, and then it goes into the refrigerator in your veggie drawer. It's nice, tight, and it won't dry out or get brown.
Janine says she does it with her lettuce and it does work perfectly.
It does. I love it with the lettuce. I'm telling you that I was so tired of wasting vegetables, but I wasn't taught as a young person because my grandma was a control freak in the kitchen. So we didn't learn a lot of things that we should have. But once I became an adult and I actually used to have a chef, she used to come over our home and cook for us when I was raising my children. And she would take care of the vegetables. And I so admired that. But I really just didn't know the process. And last year I sat down and studied it. And I learned it. And it's been one of the best resources I've learned so far in the past couple of years. Then I told y'all to put your avocado in the glass, as well as these vegetables are going to go. These peppers will go in the glass, and then I put them inside the refrigerator just like this. Let's talk a little bit about onions. Onions, red onions or white onions or yellow onions, they don't go in the refrigerator. They really need to go in a darker area of your home, primarily in a basket. I keep mine now in a basket like this. This keeps it dry and it doesn't mold very quickly. A lot of times your onion will get wet, and then if it's sitting next to another onion, the mold attracts to that. But as long as you keep it dry, that will avoid that from happening. Do not put your onions in the refrigerator. Another big thing that I cook with all the time are portobello mushrooms. I love portobello mushrooms. But what I had to learn too, they would get all gummy and yucky at the bottom, and then you would lose a lot of your good mushrooms. But again, you had to learn how to keep it. So now I have this brown box that I keep it in, or you can keep it in a brown paper bag that you keep open. Roll the brown paper bag down and then just put it in your refrigerator. The key to this is keeping it dry. Okay, so we're almost finished here. We're finishing up with some more cucumbers. I just put my cucumbers up. Then I'll fill in with a little bit more tomato. Oh no, we don't need that. We got our crackers here. Hey Kim Moore. How you doing, boo? I need your baby on this show. Her talented self. Y'all don't know Kim Moore. Kim Moore's daughter, Natalie, one of the coldest artists I know. We bought work from her years ago when she was still in college. So I can only imagine her autistic ability now. I just love artists. Something about me, an artist. Okay, so we can have some crackers there. Then I'm gonna fill this part right here with a little more tomato. And you can, your vegetables can vary. You can even put an avocado slices there. Now keep in mind, avocado can get a little challenging because it dries out. And when it dries out, it can look a little brown. And that's not for presentation purposes, in my opinion. It can look a little challenged. So I'll just go ahead and cut up some more of these and put them at the edges, and then we're done with that. And then I'm going to show you at the end how your vegetables can look, how the whole tray will look in combination with the top tier. Green peppers I talked about cucumbers, we talked about portobello, I think that's it. Lettuce, we talked about wrapping your lettuce up, and that's all forms of lettuce, including romaine. again. Did anybody go see Circus Soleil? Dang, some talented people in the world, y'all. Talented. I loved it. It was amazing. Oh, you know what I need to leave that for? No, you guys see, y'all ain't helping me. What am I leaving that for? I'm leaving that for the dip. Y'all wasn't helping me. I need to put the dip there. Okay, so this, let me finish this. What's our time looking like? Oh, we're wrapping up. So that I can tell y'all, this is gonna be our spinach dip here. A little bit of nachos. Now, of course, you can make your own nachos. I've made those before. I've told y'all how to make those nachos. Again, everything I do is easy, pretty, and effective. I am not a chef, but I know everyone that comes to my home loves to eat. So this is how we accommodate them, is make it easy and simple. So here we are again, just again, we're making it pretty, simple, but effective. Okay, y'all remember I had put that dip in the refrigerator? We're about to pull that out. So y'all can see it's all in its totality. That board should be filled in as much as possible. There should not be any wood showing. I'm gonna push everything a little bit over so that that is the case. Okay, and then I'm gonna put the dip on there. Are y'all excited? I'm excited! So I'm excited! This is gonna look so good, be good. Top it off with a little green onion. I'm excited, you guys. Y'all see how creamy that is? This is easy. Veggie dip that you make at home for your friends and family. Voila. Okay. There we go. We're going to garnish it with a little bit of green onion. Green onions, remember we talked about that? You keep those fresh the same way as you do the cucumbers and the lettuce. If you notice they begin to warp a little bit, you can take those pieces off. I have not always been this person, I told y'all that, but I'm learning to be, because this stuff gets expensive. You gotta learn to take care of your stuff. Okay, so we're just gonna top a little bit off. I'll just use a couple of pieces. Y'all know, y'all laughing at me, ain't y'all? Y'all real chefs out there laughing at me. Look at her cutting that. Look at it. Okay, here we go. We're just gonna do a little bit just to garnish on the top. And voila. You've made a entertainment board of food as well as a complement to the board. Something quick, easy. You can make up with the things that are inside your refrigerator, and you'll still leave. Your company will leave. And guess what? You'll be the rock star. The hostess rock star, that is. Again, I don't do any of what I do in day. I don't take for granted that you choose to spend your Sunday evening with me. And I thank you and I praise you for continuing to watch me and support this little old girl from Longstreet. Love you and see you next time.